true lies, scandals, candid, provocative, controversial, sensational, thought-provoking, and unapologetic. Welcome and thank you for choosing True Lies, Scandals to get updates on the infamous Jay-Z lawsuit involving that scandalous VMA after-party allegation by a woman who said the rapper and Sean Diddy Combs did some unspeakable things to her when she was only 13 years old. And y'all know, ever since the SA lawsuit was exposed to the public, Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z, kept filing legal documents after legal documents with the court. Hello, here's what's new. The court papers still keep coming. But the lawyer for the alleged victim, who we know as Jane Doe in court documents only up until this point, the lawyer, Tony Buzbee, is not impressed. He said the constant court filings by Jay-Z and his lawyer, Alex Spiro, quote, reeks of desperation. Y'all hear me? Reeks of desperation. Remember, critics were saying Jay is acting out of character, haughty and self-entitled. Some even said this may be a sign of guilt, which is why he is trying to scorch the earth to get the case thrown out of court. And by the way, thank you for visiting and for subscribing if you already have, and for sharing the videos on my channel. I really appreciate it. Now let's get back to it. We were not expecting any major filing from Jay-Z until February 6th, which is the last day for him to try and convince the court to dismiss the case. However, the rapper, who's also close friends with Sean Diddy Combs, also known as P. Diddy, Love, Sean, whatever, who's currently locked up for allegations along the same lines. That's Jay-Z, recently filed new documents called motions with the New York court here in this case. As you know, Jay-Z has been fighting ferociously to get the case tossed out of court. Judge Annalisa Torres, who is hearing the case, eventually gave in to his request to file an official request to dismiss the lawsuit. That was on January the 2nd, 2025. This happened. He was granted permission to file a motion to finally get this case thrown out. So Jay-Z was on it and officially filed a motion to dismiss within 6 days. Now you know why Buzbee describes Jay-Z's behavior as, quote, reeking of desperation. I gotta tell you, Buzbee quickly became Jay-Z's arch nemesis, and they have since sued each other in separate lawsuits. Anywho's, does filing a motion to dismiss the case means that Jay-Z will get what he wants? Absolutely not. Not necessarily. It could work for him or it could work against him, even though his backers believe the case is about to disappear. The judge will have to look at the arguments of both sides to determine whether the facts being alleged and the law favor Jay-Z or his accuser. So, what's in the most recent court papers, okay? Well, it's not a secret. So the paperwork includes photos, video clips, news articles, and recordings, along with statements from the woman's NBC interview. As you may know, if you're following this case closely, the woman, who's been identified again only as Jane Doe in court documents, told NBC News she made some, quote, mistakes in retelling her story of the alleged crime. Of course, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, jumped on that and is using it to convince the court that the woman's allegations against Jay-Z are fabricated and completely false. Now, remember, Jay-Z wants the case dismissed because his lawyer says the alleged crime happened before the New York law that covers such cases came into existence. Yep. So here's the deal. If Jay-Z, in fact and in truth, did commit the alleged crime, the law can work in his favor. If, in fact, the assault occurred before December 2000, when the law took effect, you hear me? If this is true, nobody wants to believe that Jay-Z would even think about doing something so heinous. And not nobody, some people. If it happened, if it is true, the law can work in his favor if his lawyer can prove that the law came into being prior to the crime. So this would be escaping consequences on a legal technicality. Of course, Jay-Z has always denied the crime. He said it never happened. Now, a lot of people think this woman is lying through her teeth, trying to either get fame or get rich by making these false allegations against Jay-Z. However, others are asking, why would she single out Jay-Z when they are associates of P. Diddy that she could have accused? Why Jay-Z? Why no one else? And who is Celebrity B? As old people say, where there's smoke, there's fire. The major hurdle here is for her to prove her claims, and so far, we're not aware there are any reliable witnesses to vouch for her. Her father, whom she said picked her up after the crime occurred and drove her home, he, according to the news, told NBC that he does not remember any of that. That really did her in, because if a person's parent is denying knowledge of something that their child said happened to them, and the child said the parent is aware of it, and that parent comes out and says, oh, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't remember that. Is it that it never happened? Or is it that he doesn't remember it happening? Because again, this is like 24 going on 25 years ago. We don't know how old the father is. We don't know how good his memory is at this point. But he said he doesn't remember. Anywho's, we do know, the woman says, a woman watched Diddy and Jay-Z take advantage of her. That person is only known to the public so far as Celebrity B. And speculations went wild. And some people are saying it could be, maybe, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, or even Sean Carter's wife, Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce. And if the allegations are true, but Jay-Z gets off on a technicality based on the New York City law covering such crimes, then it's a loss. It would be a loss, I would imagine, for Jane Doe. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Moving on, in another document filed, Jay-Z is asking the court to also fine Jane Doe's lawyer, Anthony Buzbee, a certain amount of money as punishment. The reason for this is Jay-Z believes Buzbee failed to do his homework in ensuring the accusations being leveled against him had some type of merit or were true, to the very least. His lawyer told the court Buzbee failed to, quote, conduct even the most rudimentary investigation into the shocking claims. The rapper feels Buzbee's failure to investigate the woman's claims before bringing the lawsuit caused huge damage to his reputation and is hurting his family. Of course, Buzbee responded to Jay-Z's request for him to be punished by the court. Based on the news, Buzbee isn't impressed again by Jay-Z's frantic and desperate attempts to punish him and the alleged victim in this case. Buzbee reportedly released a statement following Jay-Z's newest court filings. He said the constant court filings by Jay and his lawyer Alex Spiro, quote, reeks of desperation. Mr. Spiro and his team think the laws and rules don't apply to them. They are flat wrong. Remember, Jay-Z was onto attorney Buzbee as soon as the allegations of the vicious crime became public. Through his lawyer, the rapper filed a series of documents with the court, trying to convince the judge to dismiss the case and release the identity of the woman accusing him. The court ruled in a subsequent ruling that the woman can remain anonymous until further notice. If this case goes to trial, then I guess she will be unmasked. Jay-Z also filed letters to the judge in which he attacked the accuser and attorney Buzbee of trying to extort money from him using a false SA accusation. It took about 5 to 6 weeks before Judge Torres allowed Jay-Z's lawyer to file the motion to cancel the lawsuit. And as I said, filing a motion to dismiss a case is just filing a motion to dismiss the case. It does not mean that you will get what you want. It does not mean this case will be dismissed, okay? It will turn on the facts and the law that applies to such filings, okay? Anyway, the lawyer representing the alleged victims also said Jay-Z and his lawyer, quote, think they can bully or intimidate counsel by filing meritless and frivolous pleadings full of lies and half-truths. Again, they are dead wrong. We won't be bullied or intimidated ever. Since the beginning of the case, the woman's lawyer said, quote, the law is clearly on our side and the side of alleged victims. The law is well settled that we are correct. Jay-Z has until February 6th to file all of his paperwork to convince the court why the case should be thrown out. The woman's lawyer will have up until February 28th to file his paperwork to prove why the case should go on. Then Jay-Z will have one last shot to say a final word by March 14 before Judge Torres decides his fate. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Also, see the links to relevant court documents and news articles in the description below, and do check out our other videos on the Jay-Z SA lawsuit. Thank you for visiting. Join our other fans by subscribing today, and see you soon on True Lies Scandals.